What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about the one and only Tesla stock, which you should be looking out for the future of this company. I'm also going to do some in-depth technical analysis and give you guys my price prediction for tomorrow. I'm also going to talk about what's going on in the markets with CPI data, with the SPY, and how all these things can affect Tesla. Before I end this video by talking about what on earth the man in the myth, the legend Elon Musk is doing that is going to affect Tesla for the future. Now, before I say anything about this though, before I get into any more details, I do have to mention a couple of things real quick. The first thing is I'm not a financial planner, so don't take any of this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. Not only benefits me, it benefits the entire Tesla community as a whole. And the last thing is, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, you're guaranteed 6 free stocks, each worth up to $2,000. Now, you could always sell these 6 free stocks for cash and use that cash to buy some free Tesla shares. It's a limited time offer. It ends in just 3 days, so please check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So looking at Tesla, we had a pretty decent day today. I wouldn't say it was the greatest, but we actually did quite well. So one of the things that's very interesting is when the market opened, Tesla gapped up just like this. We went to about 734. And in my video from yesterday, I predicted that Tesla would kind of start off in this low range. It would actually kind of like trade sideways in the beginning, then slowly push up, maybe get a close around that 730 range. So we ended up actually touching the target I had for closing. Right, we came pretty close to it from the very beginning, but after that we slowly bled off with the overall market, but we still managed to close green, about 1.6% in the green, a little bit green in the after hours too. So what's very interesting is if you look at the SPY, very similar setup. We had this gap up. We kind of pushed to this high level, then we slowly started to drop throughout the rest of the day. Nasdaq is no different. Very, very similar moves, and just goes to show that the whole market is kind of moving in unison, at least to a large extent, and that is affecting Tesla. Now, what's going on in the markets? How may this affect Tesla going forward? Well, look at this right over here. We can see the fear and greed index is improving. It used to be extremely fearful. Now it's on the fearful side. So it is a bit of a good sign. I wouldn't say that this is just, an indication that we're just going to rally to all-time highs out of nowhere, but it just shows that there is some improvement in the sentiment from a lot of investors, from retail to even institutional responses, right? So looking at this right here, Elon Musk also sent a letter to Twitter, and this did help Tesla kind of move up today a little bit. He sent a letter to Twitter in which he threatened to essentially end the deal, the big Twitter deal, to acquire Twitter due to his uncertainty about the extent of fake accounts, bots, spam on the platform, and other things like that. So this is a big piece of news. This doesn't mean that the deal is done, okay? I know some people are going crazy over this. The deal isn't over. It's not necessarily done. It's just that Elon Musk is making some very, very big points about big issues from Twitter and how this could actually affect many, many, many small details in the deal itself. So as a result, a lot of Tesla investors, they get really excited about this, because if there is no Twitter deal, that means that Elon Musk has more time for Tesla. And that technically is true, but I've mentioned in previous videos that even if the deal goes through, it won't affect Tesla too much, because they have a massive roadmap and they have a lot of huge, huge, huge ventures that are going to continue regardless of how busy Elon Musk is. So from my perspective, right now Tesla is doing quite well, and there are very important things I want to discuss now. So just to remind you guys, okay, something huge is coming, and we have CPI data being reported on June 10th, 2022. So that's this Friday. We have it being released at 8:30 a.m. right before the market opens. I will talk more about the details on Thursday, but I just want to put it out there that this data happens to be coming off. And what else is very weird is if you look at max pain for the SPY, and remember, Tesla has generally kind of ran very similar to that of the SPY and the NASDAQ. They all tend to have very similar patterns. And what's weird is on June 6th, which is today, max pain was at 411. The SPY was barely above that. But for the 10th, which is Friday, max pain's at 405. So it almost seems like institutions are preparing for a potential drop towards the end of the week. And it is something I'm kind of warning you about. It's not guaranteed, it's just a possibility. And that can actually affect Tesla in a way. Now, what does this mean for Tesla? Okay, I am kind of going all over the place about what's going to happen at the end of the week. We're not there yet, and until we get there, I am actually pretty bullish for Tesla. I do think Tesla's going to have some pushes to the upside for tomorrow, maybe the day after. I'm going to show you exactly why. So first off, let's look at this from a technical perspective. Let's zoom out. You can see Tesla was dropping really hard, got a bounce off 620, and then what happened was there was the news that came out involving what Elon Musk said about Tesla potentially cutting salaries, which actually wasn't entirely true. Now that he kind of said something else, but I'm gonna actually break down what the truth is a little bit later in the video. But right now, there's a lot of FUD that was spreading, and it caused Tesla to gap down really hard on Friday. Excuse me, on Friday. I was just choking on my own spit. But anyways, on Friday, Tesla ends up gapping down and dropping down. We have this big drop, okay, and people are just kind of panicking. Today we kind of pushed up a little bit. So what you're going to notice right off the bat, our bottom on Friday was 700 flat. Our bottom for today was around, what was that, 706? I remember 706, somewhere around there. So we're starting to make those higher lows, and we're starting to kind of shift in the direction of the upside. Now we have this big gap right here. I'm sure you guys noticed this big gap, and generally these gaps oftentimes get filled. Even if you look at the 1 hour chart, typically we see these big gaps get filled. So with that said, it does look more like Tesla's starting to kind of shift in the upward direction. And that's why I am a lot more bullish than bearish, at least for the next couple of days, which means for Tuesday and Wednesday, perhaps. I do think Tesla's going to start pushing up a little bit more. So what on earth is my price prediction? I think a lot of people are just wondering. And what I'm going to do differently is I'm going to show you guys my bearish prediction, not necessarily my prediction, but just me pointing out the possibility of some bearish move. Then I'm going to show you the bullish possibility, then give you guys my prediction after that. So the key levels to be looking out for is if this thing drops, 700 is support, and I really want to see 700 hold. If this thing really wants to push up, 700 should hold. If we drop below it and go as low as like 680, that's where the next key level of support is 680. So if 700 don't hold, then 680 is the next key level. We need to get a bounce off that if we were to drop. Because if we can't hold 680, this thing is going to plummet, in my opinion. So that's a very, very key zone you need to be prepared for in case something like that happens. And the reason why I'm preparing you is sometimes unexpected things could come in the markets that even I can't see right now, because maybe it could happen right before the market opens. So just be prepared for that. Now, anyways, if this thing starts pushing up, okay, we have a little bit of resistance around that 720 range, then like around the 730, 734 zone. There is some resistance there, which I think Tesla's primed to break really soon. Then the next key resistance level, I mean, you could say it's around that 748, 750 range, somewhere around there. So be on the lookout for that. And if that doesn't stop us, I mean, this thing has a lot of room. I think it would go to that 776 range. It could definitely touch that. So it has a lot of room for upside, and it is kind of oversold compared to where it was from before. So what on earth am I going to prepare you for? Let's do it this way. Let me zoom into the chart a little bit, kind of like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the bearish possibility first. So if you're trying to trade Tesla, if you're trying to do anything, check this out. If hypothetically this thing kind of like maybe pushes up a little bit, gets rejected off 720, kind of trades in this zone a little bit sideways, maybe it gets a bounce off 700, trades kind of like this. Be on the lookout for where this thing gets those rejections, because if this thing drops below 700, we're going to start trading in this range. We're probably going to drop as low as 680 and maybe trade around there. So that's a more bearish possibility. I just want you guys to be prepared for that. The more bullish possibility, or the most bullish possibility, would be Tesla just starts to run up really hard, since we have that giant gap right over here. So it's possible this thing just starts to just, you know, explode to the upside. That's very possible, and Tesla is notorious for doing this even when we least expect it. So the more bullish possibility would be we kind of push up like this. We go as high as maybe 752, get kind of rejected off that. Trade a little bit sideways, then we push up even higher to that 776 level, and we manage to fill the gap in one day. Once again, it's Tesla. This thing does crazy things, and it could happen. I mean, even if you least expect it, it could end up happening in just one day. And we could close around that 770 range. So this is the more bullish possibility. This is the more bearish one. This is now going to be my price prediction. What do I think is going to happen? Well, I think the most probable outcome is, because I'm a little bit more on the bullish side, Tesla's going to run to that 730 level. We're going to have some resistance around there, right? And slowly but surely, we might actually start to break it. And what I would anticipate is we might actually start to push slowly to that 750 range. We might actually touch it. Then we might get a rejection off of that, a little bit sideways. We might start to hold that 734 level as our key support zone. So I expect this thing to be more parabolic earlier in the day, and it's more likely to kind of cool off as the day goes on. And at the very last, I don't know, 30 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, we get a nice push. And it's possible we actually end up closing on that 740 range, 745. So I'm more optimistic. I told you guys that I thought it was very probable for us to have a green day for today. And we are heading in that direction where we're trying to push up and start to fill that gap. So this is essentially what I'm predicting, this yellow line right here. I think we're more likely to have a pretty decent day, a green day, and Tesla does have a tendency of making good moves on Tuesdays. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see this thing in the 730 to 740 range relatively soon for tomorrow, maybe by the day after. I am more on the bullish than bearish side for tomorrow. Now, I also want to talk about other indicators real quick. MACD, RSI, and our EMAs. I know they're a little bit hard to see because I have all these lines, but it's really helpful anyways. So looking at the chart, let me just close these targets real quick. So what you're noticing from a technical perspective is we were on this downward trend, right? And you're seeing the signal line getting very close to the MACD. It's starting to curl like this, which shows that Tesla is slowly finding that bottom and starting to get ready to see a flip. This would be a bullish indication. Now, RSI, pretty flat right now. I would like to see this thing start to push up a little bit. It actually went up just a little bit. So I really want to see this push up a little more. That to me would be a very, very good sign. And on the 2 hour, what you'll notice is we got that big drop, but I think that was today after we pushed up to about that 734 range today. We got that 1348 EMA crossover. So that could be a good sign, right? A good sign that this thing is getting ready to curl up and push to the upside again. So we have some indicators suggesting this thing is going to move up. And I am, like I said, more on the bullish side than bearish side for tomorrow. I'm not guaranteeing it's going to be perfectly green every week due to CPI and other factors, but I just want to put it out there. Also note, be prepared for the other price targets I was talking about in case something big happens. Be on the lookout for that 680, that 700, that 730 range. Be very mindful. And with that out of the way, I want to talk about this right here. So when it comes to Elon Musk, this is also a pretty big piece of news that came out involving Tesla. The news essentially reported that Elon Musk backtracked on the job cuts. He says that Tesla salaried staff to be fairly flat. CEO takes to Twitter to predict his company headcount will actually increase over the next 12 months. So when it comes to uh, this context, I just think that the news articles from before were kind of taking this whole situation out of context. They were essentially saying that Musk is going to fire employees. There's a lot of risk, this and that. And to some degree, there's truth behind that. But at the end of the day, the company is expanding still. You have to remember that their headcount is going to keep growing as they have new gigafactories coming. That's very, very good news for the long term. It's just that they may not be hiring as many people as they would have been hiring if it wasn't for a potential recession. But at the end of the day, the company is still growing. So it doesn't necessarily concern me. And I think that we shouldn't let the FUD really get to us. So with that out of the way, the last thing I want to talk about is this right here. Elon Musk liked these tweets from this person known as Dima, and they basically talked about the fact that the supercharger station is so beautiful that they love their Tesla in Croatia. And Musk is just putting it out there that Tesla is a global company. They're connecting the world. They're getting bigger. And this is just fantastic, fantastic news to me. The fact that people are liking their Teslas in Europe and other countries like the US, maybe in China too. It's incredible. Okay. It's absolutely incredible. They're putting politics aside. They're improving the world. They have their vision. and I'm just so excited for what the future holds. With that out of the way, I just want to put it out there that, yeah, I do see a temporary relief rally for Tesla. There is more upside, in my opinion, as of right now. That's what indicators are showing. However, I do have to note that the market may not be in the most perfect of states in the next upcoming months. That could have a negative effect on Tesla, but we have to wait and see first before making even more speculation. But for the very long term, for the next few years, I'm super bullish. I see this thing soaring. I can't wait for the Cybertruck and the Tesla Roadster coming out. I can't wait for new gigafactories. It's incredible what this company will achieve, and we're just in the beginning. With that out of the way, thank you for listening. Have a fantastic rest of the day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Tesla to the moon, and peace out.